Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where and when you're listening to this. This is Coffee with Kevin. Of course, it says it right there on the screen. Of course, of course, of course. And you see the little coffee cups. And even better, you see my live, you're kind of seeing my live coffee cup. Boy, that looked really large, huh? Oh, there it's covering my face. Mm, yeah, that coffee's good. Get your coffee, get your tea, get your cold water, your juicy, whatever it is you're drinking today, and cheers to today. Mm-hmm. It is January 27th. Yes, we're getting there. It's been quite the month. Had a lot of fun. I get a lot of productivity going on, and I'm not going to say this month is going by fast because it's not. It's going by well, or at least for me. Yeah, last year it was going by fast. It's like I blinked my eyes and all of a sudden it's the end of January. This year, not so much. And I think it's a good thing. I don't want these years, these months, these days, these weeks to fly by. And I don't know why you'd want them to fly by either. No way. So, yeah, January 27th already. And I was looking today in history. A couple of things stood out. It was when they freed Auschwitz in 1944, 45. I didn't see the actual year. That's something that stood out. It's still something in our history that we don't like to think about. We need to make sure we never repeat that again, of course. But it's tough to think about, isn't it? But then I saw something else come up, and at least personally for me, it was a little bit more exciting. Um, 1965, the Ford released the Shelby GT 350, which I was trying to get a picture and put it up for you. I couldn't do it. It's a Mustang. It's a Mustang fastback kind of, and it was their Shelby model, and it was really nice. I've never owned a Mustang. I like the older Mustangs. A friend of mine had a 65 or a 64, and it was wonderful. It was a coupe. It wasn't a fastback. If he still had it, he'd be in possession of something that's worth probably about 30,000 or more. And it would have been cool. It would have been cool to have. So today in not today in history, but National Day. I like to look up national days, and I like today, National Day. It's National Plan for a Vacation today. I seem to be planning for a vacation every day, seeing what we're going to do, and that's actually I'm going to talk a little bit about that today. So you don't necessarily have to plan, but start dreaming about what you'd want to do for your vacation. Vacations are healthy for us. Vacations are good for us. To take some time off to do something. I know when I was really, really busy in corporate world, I knew that when I took a vacation and I came back, that's the thing that dreaded me. I thought about coming back from that vacation. You take a week off, or God knows you take 2 weeks off, and it takes you days just to catch up. And I see now that with those ways, you prepare before you leave for how you're going to come back, and then you don't worry about it. So that's something to think about. But yeah, start dreaming about vacation. What do you want to do? You want to fly somewhere exotic? You just want to go to someplace relaxing? I'm down here in Florida, and there's a lot of relaxing places down here. You can go overseas. You can take a cruise. There's lots of things you can do. Start dreaming about it. That's where it all starts. It starts in a dream. And actually, it gets very enjoyable when you start dreaming about it. I actually had one client who I walked him through the fantasy of what he wanted to do. He wanted to go somewhere, and he'd been doing wanted it was very expensive. Wanted to do it for years, and we walked through it in his mind, and he experienced it. That's what he told me. He experienced it. He no longer has to do it. It was an incredible experience. So sometimes just thinking about and planning your vacation is as much of a joy as it is taking the vacation. Yes, indeed. So, yeah, National Plan Your Vacation Day today. So, what we got to talk about? I labeled this having a good day. I am having a good day. I'm actually having a good month. And, I'm going to go old school. When I first started this, I talked a lot about what I was doing and how it affected me. Not infected, but how it affected me. So I'm going to go a little old school, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to talk about what we did this weekend. Yeah, I like to make the days as special as possible and still try to get done what I want to get done, the work and stuff like that. And some weekends, I'll confess, some weekends, a lot of the weekend was me doing work, me driving, me doing work and doing things, and not really us, my wife and I, to get to enjoy ourselves together that much. And so I've been doing it more and more where I have some things. So we went to a winery this weekend. For those of you who might be local, it's Castle Winery in Tarpon Springs. And this incredible, funny, wonderful, loving 83-year-old couple who have been running this winery for 26 years in their house. And we just had such a great time. Such an incredible time. Yeah, we had some great wines. I'm not even a big wine drinker, but I really loved it. But just listening to these two, and it was just so funny. They had their jokes. They made funny things. They bantered together, and even better, there's about a dozen other people, and we got to talk to them during this time, and got to know a little bit about them, and we just had so much fun together, being out and being with others. It was a lot of fun. It was a great experience. We want to do it again too. Now on Sunday, the weather was great again. By the way, here we're down in Florida, Tampa area. And when the rest of the country was getting cold and starting to get snow and ice, we were in the high 70s and 80s. And Sunday was like that. And so we took a little trip down to St. Petersburg. If you ever not been down here, St. Petersburg on Central Ave is a wonderful, wonderful place to be, to walk around. There's all sorts of shops and restaurants and bars and some rooftop bars and everything else. And so we walked around, we went antiquing, and we had just so much fun together. And then fun watching the other people. We love people watching, which is really fun. And we finally found a place, found a lively place, heard some music walking in. Now, it was one of those places where the whole bar had an open front. All the windows had to be completely exposed. And then they had rooftop, and then they had outside. And we decided to go inside because we heard the music, and it was karaoke. And it was just so much fun listening to these people singing, and the DJ they had an extraordinary voice, but it was all about the moment of enjoying ourselves, and we did, and for an hour and a half. And I gotta say, and I'll put a plug in here, they had a TV up there over the bar, and it was on sports, and we got to see the beginning of the Patriots game, the Patriots against the Broncos. And being from Boston, you can guess which team we were rooting for. Of course, the Pats. And we didn't get to see the whole game there. We got to see the first quarter, and then we kind of ended and headed back home and listened to the game on the radio and saw the rest of the game at home, and Pat's won, which made for an excellent, excellent day. We just had so much fun. Go out and have some fun. We didn't spend that much. It doesn't cost that much money. Matter of fact, I got Groupon for the wine tasting, and then we spent most of our time walking around, having not spent much money except for our lunch. But you can make the best of anything. Just going and enjoying things. And it's what I do. I find places that look like fun. I bring my sweetheart out there, and we have fun. And that's all you need to do is really have fun, enjoy, experience the day. Yeah, if you want to stay in and you want to have fun with the people around you, play some games, have some great discussions, not just sit there watching TV together. We've done too much of that, and I said this needs to be a change. Let's change that, at least on the weekends and maybe some weeknights, which is what we do. So learn to enjoy life, and it makes life go by more memorable, not like it just went by. And what the heck did I do this week? It flew so fast. And it happened to me so much last year, and I want to make sure it doesn't happen to me this year at all. All right. Well, let's see what we have. I was going old school, but I also have some quotes for you today. And it's about living life. It's about really getting the most of and being able to get what you want out of life. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow is our doubts of today. It's true. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow is our doubts of today. So whatever doubts you have, whatever negativity you have, is going to stop you from realizing your own potential, your dreams, your wants, your desires, your ability to enjoy life, as I was just talking. So if you find those doubts, you find that negative self-talk, it's like, and you find yourself, the world is coming apart, the world, nothing's going your way. Recognize them and recognize the language. Nothing is going your way. It may sound good in the moment, but is it real? Absolutely nothing. Are there things that have been going your way that you just kind of press down? Make sure that you're not talking to yourself the way you shouldn't be. Make sure you're talking to yourself the way you should be. You can say, yeah, some things have not gone my way, but that can change. Can't it? It sure can. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. And we all have failures. It is the courage to continue that counts. Some of us have failures one after another after another. It's the courage that continue that counts, because it's not going to last forever. And if it is, you got to start looking at things differently. You got to start doing things a little differently. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Arthur Ashe, this is more practical, down to earth. It's not this, oh yeah, I'm going to get over everything and I'm going to skyrocket. No, this is practical and down to earth. He just says start where you are. And some of us are not in good places. Some of us are down at the bottom. And if you start down at the bottom, there's nowhere to go but up, right? Use what you have. Don't say, I'm not going to start until I get the resources. You may never get what you think you want. And do what you can. That last one, it's a little odd for me because I'm always there with the motivational trying to push, but it's real. Okay, you can't do more than you can. Do what you can. The fact is, do, not wait, not sit there, not cry. Do what you can. I love this for its practicality. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. Change is something a lot of us don't like. It has to do with our comfort zone. That funny thing we call the comfort zone. We don't like getting uncomfortable. We don't like doing things we haven't done. We don't like changing things we're so used to. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, things aren't broke, but are they good? Right? So things don't get better by chance. They get better by change. They don't get better by doing the same things you've always done. Right? If you're doing the same things you've always done, you're going to get the same results. If you're happy with those results, that's okay. If you don't want to move forward, but you're really happy with the way things are, I guess that's okay. But if you're not, something's going to change. And things only get better by change. Don't watch the clock. Do what it does. Keep going. It's so simple. Do what the clock does. Keep going. Don't stop and give up. The clock doesn't give up. Only when its battery dies. Your battery hasn't died. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Teddy Roosevelt. That's almost believe you can. If you believe you can, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. That's almost that. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. And that's a part of getting there, right? Action. Belief is a big part. Action's another big part. Last, opportunities don't happen. You create them. Opportunities don't happen. You create them. I mean, even when an opportunity falls in your lap, which we sometimes see, which we sometimes experience, it's action. It's your reaction, which is actually initiates that opportunity, makes it good for you. And this reminds me of what I say to you every week. And I'm going to say it to you right now. Do the things you want to do. Start making little changes to get better. And I will see you next week and we can talk again. But until then, the opportunities don't happen. You create them. I want you to have a great day, but it's not up to me wanting it for you. It's up to you creating that great day for yourself, that great week for yourself. Take care, all. Until next week.